what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Living in Truth. Glad to have you here with us today. Looking forward to getting into today's topic, bad company. Today, we're talking about bad company. We're talking about the people that you surround yourself with and what a difference it can make in your life. It is an important thing to know who the people are that are around you and what the influence is that they have on you and what influence you have on other folks. So I want to jump in, and there's a quote. I don't know, maybe you guys have heard this, maybe you haven't. It says, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." That is one of those quotes. I don't know where I heard it the first time. It sounds really smart. And I was like, okay, well, I like that. And in large part, it's right. It's that concept of trying to pull other people up all the time is just going to end up getting you pulled down. And so that quote just got me thinking, and I'm like, okay, well, it sounds good and it kind of feels right, but where does it come from? Where does that idea come from? So let's go ahead and see with our handy dandy Bible app. So bust that thing out for me real quick. And in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20, it says, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." How about that? So this saying actually is a biblical concept. It's not something that some smart guy came up with all on his own. It's just been repackaged. So it's been rebranded, so to speak, that show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Those people who you spend all of your time with, you start to act more alike. You start to talk more alike. You start to think more alike. That can be horrible or that can be wonderful. It just depends on who you're spending time with. Let's go back to the word and dig a little bit deeper. I got several short verses this time instead of a big block. So kind of want to jump through a few of these just to set this up a little bit more. Proverbs 27:17. "Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another." So those folks that are around you that keep you sharp, that make you work harder, they make you better, right? Well, that's kind of absolutely what's happening here. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Now, Proverbs 9:9. "Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning." We oftentimes, our human nature, when somebody comes out and says something against us, it is this innate defense. So when somebody says, "Hey, you didn't do that right," immediately we're offended. We just get triggered and we at everything unless our mindset is right. But our human nature says, "I didn't do that." For real, we blamed stuff on everybody else. See, I was an only child, so maybe you guys didn't have imaginary friends, but I had to imagine friends whenever I was at home alone and trying to get out of trouble because everybody knew who did it. Maybe you blamed it on a younger brother or sister or older brother or sister or whatever. But me, it was imaginary friends. So if you had an imaginary friend, comment below. What was that friend's name that got you out of trouble or you got into a lot of trouble? So these people that we put in our lives impact us, influence us, and we have to be mindful of that. You may have people that you enjoy spending time with, but if you don't have the same goals in mind, if you aren't driven for the same things, if you're not looking for the same outcome, you're going to end up off of where you want to be, because the more time you spend with that person, the more just kind of into whatever rhythm you guys create, you fall into. So you got to be able to break out of that unless it's somebody who's going the same way you are. It's those people that you spend the most amount of time with. You listen to people and they start using the same phrases even because, oh, that's what we say when we're talking about X, Y, or Z thing. It's just kind of like little inside jokes develop this thing. And so we've got to be around people who push us to be better, right? So I was going through that and the quote that I said before is attributed online. I couldn't find anybody else, but the one that it was attributed to online for me was Musa Rahat. No idea who that is. So I was like, who is Musa Rahat? I'm going to look this stuff up. And there was another quote. It said, if becoming religious has made you more judgmental, rude, harsh, a backbiter, you need to check if you are worshiping God or your ego. And I was like, ooh, that's good right there. Because a lot of times we do sense that in church or have been accused of that in church. And that's right though, because God is love and he is all of this wonderful stuff. And then somehow those that are supposed to reflect him do a terrible job at it. Anyway, that's a little side note. I just thought that was smart too. And you might want to hear that on this Mustard Seed Monday. So I also have one more verse that I want to get to. And I just want to use this as encouragement. I want to give you a little stimulus with this verse. I want to give you a little bit of like an incentive to think back. Whenever you're looking at situations and scenarios of who you're spending time with and what you're doing, check this out. Galatians 5:7-9. You were running well. Who hindered you from obeying the truth? This persuasion is not from him who calls you. A little leaven leavens the whole lump. Who are you spending time with? You've got your goals, you set your mind, you're ready to run the race. You start out strong because, hey, I gave my heart to Jesus and I'm on this road. My language has changed. My attitude has changed. The things that I do with my time have changed. I'm on this road. But then what? You still feel like you're that way right now? If you are, I love it. Good. Keep it up. Bring some others around you that you can build up, that can build you up. Keep building that infrastructure, that group, that community of faith. That's good. But if not, who hindered you from obeying the truth? Who hindered you from obeying the truth? That's a really harsh question. Or maybe it's not harsh. Maybe it's just really direct. Like, what happened? What came into your life? Who came into your life and pulled you away? Was it an old friend? Was it a boss, coworker, schoolmate, boyfriend, girlfriend? Who was it that pulled you away from God? You were doing so well. So that question, I want to use that as that little bit of a finger in the back to say, look, you were doing well. Let's get back to it. Let's find the root of the problem and let's get it out. So often we're so consumed by I need more friends. I need more followers. I need more likes. I need more comments. I need more shares. And we do that. We need those things so that the message of Jesus can go out to other folks. But if you get wrapped up in those things instead of the main thing, you'll get distracted and you'll get discouraged and you'll stop moving towards your purpose and your calling. Don't let somebody pull you away from the master who has called you with a purpose and a plan. There's a good plan for your life. So if you're struggling a little bit right now, all right, acknowledge it and do better. If you're doing great right now, that's awesome. Help somebody else get up out of that stuff. Just send them a message like, hey, got you on my mind today. Praying for you. You don't know what that encouragement can do for somebody. But if you're on that race and you just need a little bit of motivation to get back up and do good again, I hope this helped you today like it did me. It says a little leaven leavens the whole lump. What they're talking about is bread. You take a whole big thing of flour and whatever, and then you add just a little bit of leaven. The whole loaf is now leavened. That little bit infects the whole thing around it. I hope this encourages you to get out and get on that road to your calling, your purpose, God's plan for your life. Because that's what we're here for, to keep the main thing the main thing. We want to keep Jesus first in all that we do and tell others how good he is, how much he loves us, and how much we love them too, and that we want to grow the family of God. I'm so glad that you were here and spent some time with us today. I hope this has helped you. For real, for real. I love you guys very, very much. Until next time, see ya.